A training map or a training path is a template developed to capture the learning journey for each role, smaller teams, even individuals or big teams, but every role has a training path associated to it. We use Trainual as our tool to manage training paths. So we will have identified a number of subjects that a new team member needs to be trained in. Each subject on their training path consists of multiple topics. And the way we've set it up in Trainual is it's in chronological order. So when you start, you have a big welcome, and then you have some health and safety, core information, and then you get into the nitty-gritty of the how-tos for each of those paths. And then as a team member develops their career and gets promoted, their role changes on Trainual. They will then have access to more training path subjects, which will develop them. So, for example, when we go from a team member front of house to a team leader front of house, they start to get some of the management training modules that you've gone through already here, for example. Now, training paths are mapped out, and you can see them in Trainual itself. And the next slides are going to show that. You will see here in Trainual, under People, there's the Roles tab. And when you click on Roles, you will see the roles that we have in the business, ranging from team member, front of house kitchen, team leader, front of house kitchen, assistant coach, store coach, ops, head of food. Every role has a list of subjects that are associated to that role. And as that role changes, subjects change. And as people's roles change, they're exposed to new subjects. You can all have a look at these roles. Click on the role, and it'll show you the subjects that are associated to it. So I clicked into team member front of house, and you can see the subjects here that are assigned to that role. Is start here. That's got the big welcome in it. And then we've got some policies that they need to know, some core information that you need to know, and a number of other subjects. You can then click into these subjects and see which topics are covered on the training path for that role. So these are the topics associated with the subject beer assigned to the training path for a front of house team member. And you can see within the subject of beer, we have how to serve draft beer, how to choose the right glassware, how to change a keg, how to restock the fridge, how to organize the cellar, for example. These are all topics associated to the subject, which has been associated to the role for the career, for the training path of the role. And finally, on the training path point, training maps, this is the actual how-to within the topic of how to serve beer, within the subject of beer associated to the training path of a team member front of house. And it has the little explanation as why it's important to know this, 3 or 4 key takeaways, key points. Then it has a video showing you how to do it. And below there is a workflow process also of how to do the task. So we feel we've been very clear in the particular how-tos associated to the subjects, associated to the roles along somebody's training path, as they work their way through Trainual in order over the 90 days of their probation, we want them to just click every time they've watched it to say, yep, I've been trained that and I understand it. And then they can move on to the next.